Oh, I think I need to cut my bangs again. That's fine. Guys, Stella Donnelly t-shirt. Good morning. It is the 24th of December, and I know I should be doing Christmassy things, but I process things too slow. We haven't even put up a Christmas tree. So, in fact, I'm just gonna do whatever I want. So, I didn't take my meds, which was actually a good thing because when I don't take them, I feel way more creative. Which is bad, but it's okay because it keeps me functioning day to day, but I feel more creative. I have like all these ideas come up. I don't sleep and then I write down all the ideas and then it's a vicious cycle, but it's kind of good because when I don't think about it too much, I come out with song ideas and YouTube ideas and things to tell you about, so that's good. So I wanted to talk about the books I've read in the last year and bought, because I'm a sucker for buying a physical copy of a book. Have to, need to. So I'll just begin. I'm just gonna literally go through my bookshelf, bookcase, whatever the fuck is back here, and give you a tour. So first I'll start with the one I've been reading most recently, which is, I found it at an op shop, and it's called Wildwood, and it's something I read when I was probably 14. It was in my high school library, and there's a sequel to it that I also want to read again because I thought it was great. I think it's just a young adult book. It's really mystical, magical. There's this place called Wildwood, and Prue's little brother Mac gets taken away by a murder of crows, the technical term. And yeah, she gets swept away into this new mystical land, and it's really interesting and really fun, and the text is big and there's illustrations, which I love, because who doesn't want a book with pretty illustrations on it? Oh, this guy. What the heck is he doing? It was illustrated really well, and I was obsessed with this style for a really long time. Like, come on, tell me you don't want that tattoo. That is sick. Anyway, really beautiful book. I really enjoy reading it. Also 10 out of 10 to this book lamp that I found. Also Lucy, you guys might not know her, but if you ever do, you'll know. This is Lucy's embroidery that she gave me for Christmas. And she made each of us one in our little friend group, and I want to cry about it. And now it's on my book light forever. This book light from, I love bookstores, Planet Books, New Edition, Elizabeth's, especially because they have secondhand stuff. And I'm thinking, and I can't think of the other ones, but maybe I'll put them on the screen so you know what. I've been, of course, reading, I think I've already talked about it, but this book, Music as Medicine. And I really enjoy the way that the author, who is Daniel Levitin, he has a book called This Is Your Brain on Art as well, and I really want to read that. Let me just read a few things I've found. So basically, music therapy only really works if so there's like a paradox between whether the client likes the music, whether they find it calming or get the desired result, emotion, etc., the release out of the music, and whether they chose the music. Like, they have to choose the music, but it also has to be effective. So like there's this like crossover of like, oh, this might work, but then it doesn't work if the clinician has just said it, or if the client has just said it because they just like the song. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's so interesting, and we need to find a way to, like, yeah, it's a lot to think about, but honestly, I can see where AI would work really well in these areas, like in choosing music. I don't think delivering therapies, I don't think that should be the point. I think it should be like they help assist pick and curate playlists and do all that stuff, which we're already seeing on Spotify and whatever, but in a clinical way that has like is an evidence-based practice. That would be great. Use AI for good stuff and not for collecting bad data and invading people's privacy. Anyway, this is just an interesting fact that I read from there. Patients are taught to sing everyday requests, such as I would like a glass of water or I need to go to the bathroom, because musical circuits in the brain are evolutionarily, phylogenetically older than speech areas. They're older than speech areas. We were singing and communicating with music before we even thought about speaking. Music is important, and this is why I say everyone can do music, everyone can sing, everyone has that ability, because what the heck, why have we been taught by this silly society thing? It's to break up communities and make you not connect with other people, really. But we should all be singing, we should all be dancing, we should all be talking to each other in this way, because it is healing, and it has been healing, and that's why it's so deeply embedded in cultures that are thousands, hundreds and thousands of years old. So anyway, that was just a really cool fact that I read, and I was like, wow, maybe I'm not imagining how amazing music is. The big need now is to confront the scalability problem. While music therapies and interventions are most successful when the patient or listener uses chosen music, not all chosen music is effective. There aren't enough music therapists to help every individual, and so we need some way to automate the process of selection, or at least pre-selection. AI will help here, not in writing the music, but in selecting music that meets both an individual's taste and desired therapeutic and wellness goals. By extracting key features from music and matching them to an individual's preferences and needs, we can usher in a new age of personalized music medicine. It's really interesting. I've been reading about how it helps with, like, music helps with dementia and helps with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and movement-based disorders. I've been learning about the default mode network, which is a very interesting thing. Oh, also, I just loved this quote because I think it's really important. We live under a false societal narrative that people with dementia are so far gone that we cannot provide meaning to them and they cannot provide value to us. We are afraid of engaging them and uncomfortable with being around such disorientation. To indulge this fear would to be potentially missing out on some of the most meaningful moments of a life. Guys, don't be afraid of people who are sick. They are sick and they need your help and they need you to be strong. Anyway, there's so much in this book that I've read so far. I haven't even read the book fully. I'm literally exactly halfway through. I was reading this at the Coco Elise gig the other day because I was like, it's nearly the end of the year, I need to get it done. But I'm really enjoying it. Listen to Coco Elise new EP, I love it. Next, I started to read Kafka on the Shore, which is my first Murakami book, and I'm really enjoying it. Again, I have ADHD, so I'm starting a billion books at once and then not finishing them. But, hey, my Tivoli Lovely ticket. Interestingly weird. I was talking to someone about this, and it was Caitlin from the podcast, Caitlin from Play It Again podcast was talking to me about Murakami, and I was kind of like, oh, I don't really know how I feel. Like, I've only got 8 chapters in because I don't really know how I feel about the way he talks about women. And then she was like, oh, but like, remember, it is translated, and also it's a different time, and also you have to look at it through the lens of what's going on. And I think I'm gonna give it more time now because I really like the way he has set up this story, and it's very odd and like abstract and cool. And I know everyone talks about this as they're like, it's like a cliche book to get from him, but I really want to read it. And I also want to read This Little Life because everyone was going on about it and I want to know what the hype is. Oh my god. Okay, this one, I keep buying books, guys. It's really bad, but also, no, it's not, because I'll read them over and over again and I'll never forget them. The Love That Dares, queer anthology. Enough said. Basically, it's poems from and letters and archives of people from like hundreds and hundreds of years ago. I don't even know how long ago the first one was. And Sappho, because I already have a Sappho book. So I have this Sappho book and it's really amazing. It's just fragments of... Guys, if you don't know Sappho, you're clearly not a lesbian. And if you are a lesbian and you don't know about it, read it. It's basically just really gay, and it's from thousands of years ago, and it's fragmented poetry, and it's heartbreaking and beautiful, and if you're gay, you need this in your library. This one has all sorts of people in it. It has, let me just list off a few. Emily Dickinson, Oscar Wilde and Walt Whitman, Audre Lorde, Sylvia Townsend. There's lots in here that I don't know and I wouldn't have heard of if I hadn't have read this book, so I think it's really interesting. Let me read one of my favorite things that I've ever read in ever. So this was to Lady Ponsonby on September 14th of 1893. About your speaking voice. It is profoundly true that voices mean more to me than anything almost. And your voice is you. Well, sometimes when we are apart, I try to hear it and I can't. Anyone else's, yes, but not yours. I remember that in illicit encyclopedia readings in bygone years, I will resume them. Only alas, there are so few things I don't know about nowadays. There was a long jaw about impotence resulting from over-desire. I'm all right with other women, the patient would say to the doctor, but that one unmans me. How I used to ponder over that sentence and dimly sympathize with the unfortunate man. I suppose it's that sort of thing about your voice. I long too violently to hear it. Anyway, it's just amazing. There's so many, like, it talks about the straight washing of Oscar Wilde, which is amazing. A really nice light read at the end of the night. I want to read about love and feel hope. And then I read this and I'm like, oh, I'm so lucky to live in a world where I can be gay and free, and, well, in a country where I can be gay and free, because there are places where it is not safe. And I'm very lucky to live here. This one doesn't really count as this year, but All About Love by Bell Hooks. I also just bought myself a Christmas gift. Bell Hooks, Visuals on My Mind. Oh, wait, what? Bell Hooks, Out of My Mind, Visual Politics. Which I'm excited for. And, yeah. I've been gifting a lot of Bell Hooks books because I find them really fascinating. And I love a non-fiction. I really do. I've never been so interested in non-fiction in my life. I used to be such a fiction girly, like all through high school, all through primary school. I loved it. But now I'm just like, knowledge! And then sometimes I'll read like a silly Wildwood book that makes me feel fun and fantasy. Like, again, I'm over halfway done in this book, but A New Science of Imagination by Adam Zeman. Amazing book. The Shape of Things Unseen talks about imagination, our minds, psychology, which I love it. I love psychology. Anyway, so basically everything you could ever want to know about like humans and how we began, and why we think the way we do, and why you might not have visual images in your brain, and why you might have lots of visual images, aka aphantasia, no images, and hyperphantasia, lots of images. I'm on the aphantasia spectrum. I barely see images in my brain. I just think of what I'm thinking of, if that makes sense. So it was really interesting. Talk about brainwaves and like Kiki Abuba. Like Kiki Booba. It has this really fun photo of this guy, which is really great. I thought that was really fun. Anyway, really great read if you're interested in just learning a bunch of random facts and like more about imagination, how to make your creativity work a bit better. It's really cool. Really cool. I found this early in the year when I went to Melbourne to see Billy Martin. I went with Rachel. It was really fun. And I went and saw my brother, and it was really great. And my brother's partner, who I love, Sarah. I love you, Sarah. We found this at an op shop. Penguin Book of Modern Australian Poetry, and there's some really beautiful ones in here. Me and Sarah love reading poetry together. I asked her to send me some the other day, and I miss her very dearly. There's just so many cool poems in here, and like it's got a Judith Wright section, so you know I was gonna buy it anyway. Yeah, it's really great. I think any anthology that you can find, so valuable, because collections of works are usually really expensive and often hard to find. So get yourself anthologies. This is one I'm really excited to read. It's another Bell Hooks, Outlaw Culture. Very excited. I started reading the first chapter when I was at the chiropractor yesterday. It was really good. But yeah, I think that's all the books for now. I think that's all of them, really. Which, when I think about it, that's more books than I've read in a little while. And it's hard to make time to read, but it's important that you do. As RuPaul says, you know what doesn't have ads? Books. Read a book. I love him. Okay, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you some books that I've read and say, get reading. Read one chapter, a tiny bit of the page before bed. It makes you sleepy, it stops you getting blue light in your eyeballs, and it's fantastic. So yeah, much love to you guys. Send me your book recommendations, please, especially if they're fiction or fantasy ones. I don't really have many of those, and I would like to know more about them. Okay, enjoy the rest of your year, and I will probably upload this in the new year, but Happy New Year, Happy Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, happy everything. Okay. See you next time.